There are three constants in this world. Gravity will always keep us on the ground, I'll never find a woman's touch, and Sonic games will always have banger soundtracks. No matter how bad the game is, it will always have the most dance-worthy songs that will make you feel bad for deaf people for not being able to witness the gloriousness that is the songs like I Am All of Me, Undefeatable, and Infinite's theme. And this, of course, transfers over to fan games, specifically the game that has the Last Man Standing themes that I'm going to be ranking today, Outcome Memories. Now, there are a lot of things that go into making a good Last Man Standing theme. How much does it make you want a character to win, the representation of the character, if it gets stuck in my head for weeks on end, how much emotion does it convey. I'll admit, these are loose categories that I don't really follow, but they do still hold some weight when I rank them. Also, goes without saying, this is a purely subjective video. Keep in mind, I did take music theory, but not everyone likes the same types of musics. This does include every single song that has been in the game at any point. The only exceptions being the Don't Blink instrumental because it was an inherently unfinished song, and the ambience for Knuckles and Cream because, let's be honest, those don't count as LMS themes. At least for Outcome Memories. They did for TD, but not for Outcome Memories. With that in mind, if you like the video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. Subscribe and join my community Discord if you want to. And let's hop into the video. Metal Sonic is a weird character to have to do an LMS theme for. You know, because he's a robot mainly to be a copy of Sonic, it's kind of weird. However, the original version, the 0.1 version, had so much more character in it compared to the one that we have now. Of course, I'm not saying that the new one is bad, but it doesn't really sound like Metal Sonic fighting to be the best Sonic against the EXEs. The guitar solo is really good though, I really enjoy the guitar solo. I have a lot of mixed opinions on Fists of Fire. It's a really cool remix of Feel the Fury, without the lyrics of Feel the Fury though. Fists of Fire almost ends up being repetitive, and it certainly lacks the charm of the original Feel the Fury. Again, not a bad song in the slightest, but as a solo theme, I'd argue that without the lyrics, it suffers the same problems that Dead or Alive V2 does, and that it doesn't really fit Knuckles or convey much emotion outside of being a badass guitar. It sounds great, but doesn't really fit the bill. Now, before you flame me, this version is really interesting in its concept and how it was executed. Does it fit Cream? Meh? It's certainly a step up from the other two, but I do believe it goes without saying that there's a reason it was redone for the full release of the game. I will say though, the Play With Me reference in this song is probably the best version done out of the three Cream LMS themes. Now we're getting into the themes that I actually really like. Keep in mind that none of these songs are bad. All of these LMS themes, scrapped or otherwise, are really good. But when you're stacked up against such a, well, stacked OST, some just don't hold up as well. Again, the last three I like, but don't exactly love. Any here on out though, I adore in their own ways. This LMS theme is very much so in your face and wastes no time buttering you up. Instantly you're thrown into 8-bit hell, and that's what I like so much about it. It sounds very Sonic-esque, if that makes any sense. The fast start, the fact that it never really quite slows down, except for the part that's right after the intro, it fits classic Sonic quite well, I'd say. Plus, taunting the EXE, which is just a recurring theme in Sonic LMS themes now anyway, it fits him quite well. This was technically a placeholder, but it was in the game for about 3 months, so, you know, I'll count it. I really didn't like it when it first came to the game, but it grew on me over the couple months that I listened to it, especially the lyrical part. Does it fit Amy? Maybe modern Amy, but certainly not classic Amy, at least I don't think. That's my main gripe with the song, is that it never really sticks to one thing for too long, but that's also like its main strength, so call me a hypocrite if you want, but this is where I'm gonna put it. The first parts are slow, and the middle parts are slow as well. Not that it isn't expected, this is an instrumental version of a song made for Super Sonic, which is kind of funny if you think about it, because Shadow sees himself as the ultimate light form, so it makes sense that his song is Super Sonic's without lyrics, kind of. However, I just really am not a huge fan of the parts that aren't the chorus or the bridge sections. God, the guitar work in the chorus section makes me feel some type of way though. Love a good guitar. I've actually studied this song and helped someone do a school project on studying the song in music theory. It feels very tense and almost scatterbrained, which fits Tails, I can't lie. I really want to point out what I'll call the metronome resets here. There are a few parts in the song where the metronome and the timing of the song restarts, so to speak, meaning that some of the measures don't get through all their beats before resetting. It helps the song keep some irregular timing, giving an effect I can only describe as ditzy and, well, scatterbrained, and also helping to keep it tense. And near the end with the hopeful and almost heroic part, it's really good. Fun fact, this used to be my favorite LMS song in the game. Also another fun fact, this song has the highest tempo in some parts than any other LMS theme in the game. I believe to date, actually, which is really cool. Singer in the beginning really sets the tone, though it never really keeps this tone throughout the song. The guitar work in the beginning, oh my god. I really wish they kept this LMS more melodic with those guitars to keep Amy's more gentle side, I guess. Like, I wish they kept that more shown through the song, but I'm certainly not mad at what we got. A certified banger. Much like Forever Imperfect, this was Knuckles' placeholder for 3 months. And I do admit, I'm not a huge fan of the part where it's essentially one of the Sonic Adventure raps, but the next part, dear god, it's so nice to the ears. It sounds very heroic, and then the lyrics come in near the end to really complement the tone too. It really ties the whole song together in my opinion. I'm sad that it's really only like 2 minutes long, I really wish there was more. This theme had the impossible task of giving Metal Sonic character through music, and it delivered. Is it just Stardust Speedway? Kind of. It certainly adds to it with a darker tone, but still making it something that sounds very Metal Sonic. It is probably the best that you could do, at least with the classic version of Metal, and it's honestly very well crafted. I do wonder why this was taken out of the game in favor for the new Sonic LMS. It makes me miss 0.1, I cannot lie. Silver's LMS is probably the most unique. No other song in the game really has the unique sound that Silver's does. It's almost like a mix of dubstep and speedcore, which if you don't know is basically any rhythm game song you can think of. It does a really good job of showing Silver is from the future with a more futuristic sounding, well, sound, and doesn't stray away from more emotional moments either. It's a very intense LMS, and then they drop probably the weirdest drop I've ever heard in a song like this, but it really adds to it in a way I can't describe. Also, it's very fun to map an Osu. Extremely all over the place LMS, along with a lot of different directions and conflicting ideas, really ties this whole LMS theme together. It works really well. When you think of emotion in this game, you probably think of Tea Time Waltz. It has a very prominent tone to it that sounds very childlike, which, you know, makes sense because Cream is a child. This version also does the waltz part best in my opinion. It sounds creepy by being out of tune without trying to sound like it's trying too hard. After the Play With Me reference in this version, you can get what can only be described as courage as the ring spawns. It's absolute cinema. And the tone pitch is higher too, which I imagine to represent her will to continue living even when her friends couldn't. It's an insanely powerful LMS theme that I am super sad that had to go. The Soul Still Burns feels like a more realized version of Damsel in Distress, like a version 0.2 of Damsel in Distress. There's more vocal gymnastics, more cohesion throughout the song, more epicness, everything. Also, Blaze saying that there's no one to hold and that her hands are so cold. Like, remember, this is for a Roblox game. That's kind of brutal. The thing that really holds this whole song back for me, though, is the really slow part near the end where not much happens. I feel like it takes away from the song a little bit. Otherwise, really good. Oh! Oh boy, what can I say that already hasn't been said about Eggman's theme? It sounds so unbelievably Eggman that it's not even funny. It sounds extremely arrogant, confident, and oozing personality while also not straying from a small amount of emotion too. Along with the lyrics sound like they're literally belittling the EXE through loudspeakers, and the guitar ending solo, it is fitting that the main villain of Sonic the Hedgehog got an absolute banger. His arrogance at the end is also the cherry on top too. Absolute chef's kiss.
Standing alone, standing just stand.
The original Sonic LMS theme. It's honestly not surprising to any of you that it's in the top 5. It certainly sounds very modern Sonic-esque, like this feels it could fit right at home in Sonic Frontiers. I will say the weird skipped beats and the guitar riffs, while they do make the song interesting, are very disrupting, kind of, but that's more than made up for it in the chorus and the guitar solo. Really fire. Again, love me some modern Sonic themes. I love the OST to Frontiers, so this, really nice. While I am sad that Teen Time Waltz had to go, this is my favorite version of the Cream.LMS saga. It certainly captures the emotion that Cream the Rabbit would be feeling in a moment like this best in my opinion. The waltz part, not as good as the original, not as good as the second one, and the play with me part, not as good as the first one. But this song is oozing with more emotion than any of the other Cream.LMS themes in this game. Right here, it mixes hopefulness, desperation, fear, panic, everything into a nice little cocktail for my ears to just absolutely enjoy. And we must not forget the ending part. Absolute chills. Come on, you knew it'd be in the top 3. This is John Outcome Memories OST. Feel the Fury is probably the most iconic song in the whole catalog, even though it hasn't even been in the game for like 6 months. I don't even need to tell you why it's good. It's a song that sounds like Knuckles is fighting with barely contained rage to, as the song puts it, honor the names of the people that have died. Again, Roblox game by the way. More emotional maturity than most adults, I know, I swear. The guitar solo is also quite insane. It's so good that they had to pull out the goofy goober guitar from SpongeBob. That's how you know this shit's heat. The song that got the actual guy from Crush 40 to sing for a Roblox game. Just let that sink in for a moment. They got the Sonic Adventure guy to sing in our Roblox game. Glazing out of the way, this is a very nice homage to the whole Sonic series as a whole, and because of that it has much more charm in my opinion. With very little repeating parts, a really good guitar solo, and a more intense part that has Sonic literally asking that isn't the violence that he's using to survive the LMS what the EXEs wanted. Again, the maturity. Why can't we have these like themes in Hollywood? That would make for such a compelling movie. The lyrics from Johnny Gioli are sung beautifully, especially with the powerful part at the end. It's a really good song. And it has been played on my playlist about 7 times. Before you write, let me argue my point. Wilted Blossom is probably the only LMS theme that really captures the essence of Amy Rose. It sounds wistful and somber if you listen behind the drums. It's very sad sounding, but the drums are keeping it from sounding too depressing, almost like Amy is putting up a facade. I don't know, it's very interesting. The lyrics are equally sad sounding. The 8-bit part is a lot more happy though. This is around the time that the ring would spawn, which is why Amy would be feeling hope around this time because, well, the ring spawns here. And then the ending. Dear God, it's so sad sounding. It's just a piano and a woman humming. No words, just somberness. They give the feeling of even though Amy made it out, she didn't win. You know, all her friends are dead. Am I reading too much into it? Probably, but it certainly feels the most layered out of any LMS thing. Erosity? however you pronounce it, you have my complete and unbidden respect. Sorry if I haven't been pushing out videos recently. I'm still sick and a lot has gone on in the past 2 weeks, but hopefully I'm back to making videos. If you like the video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. Subscribe and join my community in Discord, and I hope to see you in the next one.